Hey, William, I thought you didn't play video games. I thought you didn't have time for games. I saw you playing League of Legends the other day.
One time.
One time? Nah, that's not the story I heard, man.
Yeah, it can't be one because you have to have like setup for it, right?
Correct,
so you have to know
correct.
What you're doing.
I do have a gaming PC. I took.
Is it that you normally play on a different Steam and then you forgot to change to your correct Steam before?
Nah, it wasn't Steam, it was Discord.
Discord, yeah.
How long have you been playing League of Legends for?
Long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
What you
I
get-
was there when Wally Bear first released.
So season 1.
What does that words mean?
Valley Bear's one of the characters.
Oh, okay, go.
But he's
his name's Wally Bear?
No, Volley.
Yeah, Volley
with a V.
Bear. Like volleyball or
Volley
Volley
Bear.
Bear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, just by the description of the character alone, give me a description of what you think he looks like.
Well, originally I was thinking, when you said, I thought it was Wally Bear. So my first went through to something like a Winnie the Pooh situation
like Yogi?
where it's like a bear with no
Yeah.
pants but a
But
shirt.
picnic
But if it's
basket.
Volley Bear,
Well, it doesn't wear pants.
he doesn't
It
wear
has
pants.
an armor though.
He doesn't have an arm. So it is a bear.
Well, no spoilers. Danny's going to try and describe
So
Volley
it's physically a bear?
Bear. Well, yeah, okay, so
I'm
yes.
imagining a brown bear. If he's got no pants but armor, then
We'll do hotter or colder. So bear, hotter. Okay, yeah, you're getting warmer.
Wait, it's hotter, so it's a girl.
No, you know the game hotter or colder.
Oh
You
yeah.
give
I
descriptions.
thought you were saying the bear was hotter.
I was like, yeah, what?
Dude, there's definitely some crowds.
All right, it's a brown bear, no
colder,
pants.
not brown.
Right, but a polar bear.
Polar bear.
Oh,
correct.
it's a polar
Yeah,
bear. All right.
Yep. Warmer.
Much colder,
Warmer.
but it's the opposite way.
Yes.
And then if he's wearing armor, then it's like some sort of like chest piece, like a
Yeah.
what do they call the vest that the police
the
wear?
carapace? No, the
Bulletproof vest.
cuirass.
Okay.
Yeah, like one of those, and then probably a helmet, right?
Ooh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
It has
we
a-
don't.
How
We're
can
not,
it be
we're
yes
not
and
including
no?
skins. We're not including skins. Base.
Base has helmet.
He doesn't have a helmet. Volley Bear doesn't wear a helmet.
Check. Let me check. Okay, continue on.
From your description alone, what do you think his ability is?
If it's volley, he must have like a Gatling gun that fires heaps of bullets,
No.
right? He shoots ice.
Close.
He plays volleyball. he spikes a ball at the opponent. That would actually be pretty sick.
The truth is, Volley Bear is not very original because they kind of just based him on like the Kislev like bear god. He's like a thunder god.
So he can bring like a storm. or
Wait,
something.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
has a
pretty
helmet. What are you talking about?
Does he wear a helmet?
Yeah.
You were in.
New skin. New
No, this is
design.
skin.
New design. He doesn't have a helmet. New design. He doesn't have a helmet.
Wait, so the new one or the old one has a helmet then?
Old design has a helmet.
Yeah. That's why I remember him as a helmet.
Because William's a boomer gamer. Nah, I say that. So
As we play hotter or colder.
So with League of Legends is a game that's been around for a really long time.
And FYI, it does come with a police skin.
can I have a look?
The sound of police.
Yeah, they sell. It's one of the skins.
I'm gonna be honest. This is way more ridiculous than I was imagining in my head, cuz.
The whole point of League of Legends is that they have their own game, but they also sell skins. And a lot of the skins get pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
The game's been around for a really long time because I joined League of Legends. I've been playing League of Legends on and off for quite a long time. I used to play a lot when I was younger, but when I say younger, I mean this game came out when I was in high school. So I joined season 2,
Damn.
which was probably
Ari was
2013.
released 2011, so I played during 2010.
Oh my god, I probably
Yeah.
played 2012 then.
2010.
So you joined season 1, so
Wait,
it's the first year of the game.
How can you have played 2010 if it came out in 2011?
No. The game was released before then. Ari was like a
There was
new
a beta.
character.
They had a beta release, and then there was season 1, which is the first year of release. So William, you probably played around season 1. I joined season 2, which is second year release, and the game's still going to this day. And if I remember correctly, reading the stats, League of Legends is the most played video game in the world.
So it's the same game. It's not like League of Legends 5 or
It's
something.
like World of Warcraft. But they just keep
okay, just keep
adding on,
Adding
on
and
each year.
like bug fix and like balancing and stuff.
Do you think in the modern age of gaming, where everything is so much more expensive, like these AAA titles cost millions of dollars to make, would these gagens exist without skins? Like, let's say that it was never invented. Could they? How would they? Do you
League
reckon
of
they'd be
Legends
around at
actually
all?
kind of popularized that whole free to play, and like I wouldn't say popularized it, but definitely was a big player in making it more known. Where it was a free to play game, and the monetization came through skins. So for the initial like outlook for everyone, it was that it was very fair. Like I can just play the game. I don't have to spend money. But then they get you with the cosmetics, and then I have plenty of friends of mine who've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Which is more money than a AAA title game.
Exactly.
Well, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago before. We were talking about I watched like a video, and it was the guys from World of Warcraft talking about how it was like Blizzard overall, and obviously like Blizzard, they've got the other titles. So there's I don't know, there's Warcraft and there's Warcraft, and then there's the other ones that I don't care or think about. Starcraft, and what's the yeah, that's Starcraft, right?
Diablocraft.
Anyway, there were guys who were talking about how they were, they're going, because it's a massive corporate company, they're talking about millions of dollars are getting moved around. And he was saying this, you go into a pitch deck and you've got to like pitch to the managers or the CEO about why your project should get funding to be able to go forward. And then, the brands are competing with each other. There's the guys who are working for WoW and the guys who are working for, the card game and stuff like that. Anyway, there was the StarCraft guy was saying, they're trying to pitch a new expansion for them to greenlight to give the funding to be able to go spend the time and make it. But then there was in the early mid 2000s, there was a World of Warcraft released the first Bible mount, which was the Celestial Horse. And it was like a flying mount and it looked like a star kind of thing.
Was there mounts before it, or was it the first flying mount?
It was the first flying mount you could just buy. So it might even be the first mount that you could buy overall, to be honest with you. But that Celestial Horse made more money as an in-game purchase of WoW than Diablo and StarCraft put together of all expansions of all time. So every time they went into a meeting with the CEO to try and get funding, they're always like, well, yeah, we could greenlight you for an expansion, but is it going to make more money than if we just made you sit down and code horses? Yeah. And they're like, well, no. So it's like, well, what are we doing here then?
You could have, because it's so easy to make a horse, right?
Yeah, you could have one guy working on a project for a week.
Yeah.
And that's the skin. You can release that skin and that's bajillions of dollars.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's like when you've got that internal competition, you hear a lot with Warhammer, and the same thing at why fantasy got the heart of the stick for a long time. Is because you've got these groups within the same business fighting for funding. And it's hard to compete with something when something's overwhelmingly making more money.
Can you imagine in the factory, line 1 to line 10 is all 40K. AOS, can I get line 1, please?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, AOS is trying to fight for attention as well.
And then it's something if StarCraft was sold off or put into another bracket outside of Blizzard, maybe something like that would get more attention and a smaller, more dedicated group where funding could be focused on that, because it's not competing with such a juggernaut. They're talking World of Warcraft out now has the main World of Warcraft, and then there's World of Warcraft Classic, and then because they're so far down the World of Warcraft Classic section, they've started to add other things like the Iron Man, all that kind of stuff. Because are they just going to do World of Warcraft Classic 2? When does that stop? You know what I mean? Because it's almost to the point now where they started World of Warcraft Classic in the first place.
They can only really
Classic too many times.
Cash in Classic release once before you lose momentum there.
I guess you're losing this nostalgia.
Can you move your characters from Classic to normal?
I don't think
different games.
Different servers and everything. Yeah.
All right.
So League of Legends was really big in that whole selling skins, and they made a ton of money because the game was free. It brought in a big population, and it rapidly grew to be one of the most dominant games in the sphere. It really, really, really got popular around the esports scene. Outside of, because back then there wasn't really any other big esports scene outside of StarCraft, and StarCraft was kind of losing its momentum around that time in that late 2010s. Into the 2020s.
That whole genre of gaming kind of
correct.
RTS,
what really took over was League of Legends esports and Counter-Strike esports, and then League of Legends was pulling millions of viewers, global, big stadiums. It was a massive thing.
This is bigger than Dota as well, right?
Massive. Well, Dota has bigger prize pools.
Now Dota is the prize pool is so shit.
Nah, League is definitely the bigger game right now.
Dota used to be, but the difference is League is self-funded, Dota is player-funded.
Correct.
How the
they sell the international.
Correct. Yeah. So when they the worlds come on, right? So what they do is they put up Dota
gives you because Dota gives you a battle pass you can buy, and part of the proceeds goes towards pricing for the
pool. So it feeds the pool. So if more people buy it, then
League of Legends they just fund the pricing themselves, but also there's also a lot of sponsorship pricing that doesn't really get disclosed in the grand prize pool.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's a big deal because
I guess they could internally they could be going for a round of funding from someone because they know they're going to make it back, and that's how they'll get that money.
And it's a big deal because it's a global game, right? You have different regions across the entire world. Every region has their own tournament scene, their champion scene that eventually fight to the ultimate pinnacle, which is the world champion, which for the last couple of years has been basically just Korea and China back and forth.
Yeah,
so, because Korea and China they spend most of the time playing games
playing games and also just population size of games.
Right.
I know we want to come back around to League of Legends thing, so I don't want to go too far away from that. But do you guys touch Fortnite at all?
No.
Give it a go.
So I wrote the first set of notes for a couple of weeks ago, but then we obviously had a few weeks off because your exams. So congratulations, Kang, for finishing your exams.
Well done.
Hope for the well.
Are you? This is done or what?
No. Next semester's done.
Oh, okay.
Next semester should be a gimme because it's just 2 units.
Yeah. Okay. Is that your last semester?
And that's me done. That's the maximum amount of things I can study.
All right.
Now he's gonna get a job.
And then, then he goes back and studies a new thing. Just starts a whole.
Yeah, that's called
again.
like when you go for your masters and honors, right?
But
God.
the notes that I wrote a couple weeks ago was they'd introduced a new section, like a thing into Fortnite where they put all these Star Wars characters in. And like I think like it's really cool how they've like they've done Halo when they've done Rick and Morty and like all these cool stuff they've put in there. But anyway, the Star Wars one was like portals would open up on the map, and then you could go into the portal, and then it would take you into like a Star Destroyer that's flying over the map, and then you could bomb the players down below.
Developers have some crazy stuff.
And that's some like that's fucking cool.
But did you
man.
hear about the controversial part?
What?
The Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, the AI generated
text
one.
to speech Darth Vader, and within like a few hours of the text to speech Darth Vader being around, they had to take it down. Because players are just making Darth Vader like extremely racist.
But yeah,
really?
Yeah,
because it would conversation back with you like using just an AI chatbot situation essentially. But I think they fixed it because it's still in the game.
It's still in the game. They might have to give it like way harder restrictions.
Yeah, harder restrictions or like really cut down some of the language or whatever. But I assume it's just a part of like there's already going to be like tech things that text check what you're saying to ban you. So I assume they just add that into the AI thing,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But then
been to a Call of Duty lobby these days?
Yeah.
Still all the same words, same slurs.
But then recently, like at this week, we've talked about before. My favorite footballer of all time is a guy called Song Hyun Min, who's a Korean player, and he's be the first like footballer to be put as a skin inside a Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
and it's fucking cool,
he has a
man.
skin in Fortnite?
Yeah, well, because
crazy.
I don't think I'm incorrect about this, but I'm fairly certain he's the most popular Korean sportsman of all time.
It makes sense, right? He's got to be a big national figure.
And because like he plays in the Premier League, and there's only like 2 or 3 other like Asian descent players in
like
the
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, there's only 2 or 3 others in the Premier League, and he's probably the most famous one. And then this year he won the like a Europa League trophy, which is like he's the first like Asian descent player to ever win a trophy of that size as well. So he's like broken a lot of grounds. But for him, like I guess it's like the Tottenham Hotspur, the team that he plays with, has like a massive chunk of their revenue just because it's like Asian countries are watching the Premier League in his thing. And he's been like listed as a move over to the like Arab Emirates kind of like league. I forgot what's called.
Yeah, they're doing the whole thing where they're just getting like their all-star players.
They're trying to buy everyone in.
But it's a bit more of a marketing thing, right?
It's a significantly lower league. But it'll bring huge amount of funding, like because you get all the viewers. A lot of people just follow him from team to team, no matter where it's from. So it's really cool. But to see, it's like this the Star Wars thing, and then there's like Son thing that happened. It's like, man, it's like, am I supposed to play Fortnite? It's like to me, so they're doing such cool stuff, right?
You more of a follow player kind of guy or follow team kind of guy?
Up until this guy, it's definitely just a team. Yeah. But I think he's a big part of how he plays is far more interesting. The thing is because he played really hard for such a long time, he's at I think he's 28, 29, and he's pretty gassed. So he's put a lot of
when you get to that 30s, that's when it really tolls on you, right?
The more technical players and the ones who move a bit slower, but just like pot shot it in and have a good that kind of skill.
Football is a pretty harsh deadline for players, right?
Yeah.
It's usually
30 like
30 years you're done, right? Pretty much.
Some of the best players like Ronaldo and stuff, they're nearly 40, like 39, 40. Like Messi is also like I think 38.
Live the regimen of like pure just discipline, right? Like no alcohol, but clean living, no smoking, nothing.
100%. Like someone like Ronaldo and those like really top end players, they're making somewhere in the range of $1 million a week. So they're pulling in. They do like cryogenics. They do all the crazy expensive stuff that the average person can't afford to do.
Reverse their age.
Yeah, and they do all of that. But a level of running that is required, you're out straight away. But I assume that's the same for like NFL and AFL.
It's got to be.
Well, yeah,
it's got to be.
I think for probably NFL is concussion.
Yeah.
It's a big one,
Yeah, because there's so much body contact, right?
Yeah, NFL has more concussion than like rugby, where you don't even wear helmets.
NFL's a real weird one. The inherent flaw of NFL is that it's all focused on the quarterback. So quarterbacks suffer injuries all the time, and it makes or break a team.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of ruling around protecting the quarterback, so you don't just have someone just like injured just 70% of the time.
Yeah. Like the old videos from the like 50s and 60s where see the guys get bent in half and their legs are like
it was like a few years back. It was like Tom Brady broke his leg because it used to be you could tackle the legs, the quarterback's legs. So you have this dude who weighs like 130 kilos charging at your legs,
just trying to break your knees,
snap your knees, bro. So and they outlawed that. But obviously, can you imagine? Ludicrous.
And there's like I like a good combat sport. Like when I had more time, I used to watch the UFC every weekend with Lucas and mates and stuff like that. But I like soccer for its skill, and like people can say yes or no of what you do or don't like, but there is a reason that
It's a very technical, extremely
it's
technical
the
sport.
most watched sport in the world by a lot. So
Touching back on League of Legends as well. So now that you've played League of Legends for a while, how do you feel about transitioning into a new card game? So this is on to the next topic where Riot Games, they've dabbled in like a lot of different franchises. For a long time, the developers of League of Legends only had League of Legends. That was their one game. And then in the last, I would say, decade, they've started expanding into new games. They made a fairly successful like shooter game called Valorant. It's in the same universe. It's very much a Counter-Strike clone. And they've done a card game in the past, like Hearthstone, which is a digital card game called Runeterra. But they've depreciated that digital card game and they're pushing into the physical card game sphere called Riftbound. How do you feel about that?
Interesting question.
They're making a big push to franchise out the game because there's also going to be an MMO coming out.
To me, issue is
for the card
gameplay.
game.
Gameplay is very important.
Yeah. So
I don't care how AAA title it is.
Gotcha.
But gameplay has to be
So we'll
important
touch
as well.
upon gameplay in a second.
Have you seen it?
I have seen some of it, so we'll touch upon it in a second. The League of Legends franchise, you know how they've done the Netflix show now? It was very successful. They're also going to do a fighting game as well, which is some side project. But the big one is that they've been rewriting a lot of the lore. For the last 10 years, they've been rewriting all the lore and they've been setting up all these cinematics, setting up all these characters because they're going to be releasing a big MMO. And the MMO is going to be set in the League of Legends universe, which is actually, I know a lot of people are quite excited because they've actually built up this lore. For example, I started playing this game in 2012, right? So it's been a really long time for me to kind of absorb myself. So this is kind of like my World of Warcraft situation, where if they do release an MMO, I can see myself being like, I'll give it a go. I really want to see where it goes and where it lands. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. The gameplay is a little bit different though. It's all about holding positions.
Correct. So the card game plays like the League of Legends physical, like the actual digital game.
Capture the flag.
So because like I'm not a big like I've not played League of Legends at all. You create like little teams and you try to beat the other team. Is that what you're doing?
No, you don't create a team. It's like a 5v5.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 players versus 5 players.
It's 5v5. Everyone controls one character, and it's a team-based game where you have to attack an opponent's base and destroy it. That's the basic premise of it. But in between all that, there's also the combat and making sure you're getting gold. You can, from your perspective, you can imagine a bit like Warcraft PvP.
Yep.
So you control one of your own little like Warcraft characters, right? But you also have to level up during the combat. So you have to go around and killing like neutral stuff as well, and also trying to like battle and duel. And you keep leveling up your abilities, and eventually you get stronger.
So I
buy items as well.
In a very small level, the Blizzard version of what sounds like this game.
Correct. Heart of the Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So it sounds like this.
Heart of the Storm was.
HOTS, yeah.
Heart of
the Storm.
So
It's
I
exactly
played that.
that,
Is
yeah.
that just basically a reskin
Basically
of
the
that
same
game?
thing.
Got it.
It's not reskin of that game. Heart of the Storm skinned that League of Legends. What are you talking about?
Technically, the genre.
Oh no, I'm saying that. I assumed the Blizzard was a copy of it.
The genre is now like called MOBA, so Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. That's the name that has been given to the genre. But originally, it was a Dota mod. So originally, it was a Warcraft mod. So originally, it was a Warcraft mod
Called Dota.
Defense of the Ancients, and that mod got really, really popular around like, and we're talking Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, the RTS. And
Warcraft
that mod got really, really big, and then out of Dota started springing off like a lot of the side stuff. That's when League of Legends came out. We also had one more. I can't remember the one. What was it? There's a bunch. There's a lot of games that came out of the Dota genre.
Yeah, ride the wave. So in the card game version of it, are you playing all of say the 5 characters?
No, you
You play
character.
like one. You have one. You have one so-called like one piece. You have one leader, and then you have to like play characters, and then you have to like capture the flag.
Yeah.
Remain control, like Call of Duty.
So the best way to describe it is the whole genre of MOBA comes down to the idea of lanes. There are 3 lanes where you battle down. And these lanes are represented in the tabletop game as well, the card game, where you have 3 locations you're battling over. So you have your own board where you have your cards and you have your player, and that's your base. And you have 3 lanes where you also play cards and challenge for contesting locations.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So, and then it plays a bit like the game, because the idea is that I think it's first to score 8 points wins.
Yes,
And it's
something
about
like
like
that.
it's like area control. It's like a battle back and forth.
So it's a little bit like to a degree, a little bit like sorcery then.
a bit like sorcery.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The important thing about the League of Legends Riftbound, so Riftbound's the name of the game. The important thing about Riftbound is it can be played 1v1 or 2v2. Because it's supposed to represent that in the digital game, it's a team-based game. You have your team and you have your opponent's team.
And they have a 5v5 in the game as well. So you got 2, 2, and 1.
That's what I was saying. Like, can you then do like a massive,
yeah, you can.
a massive battle?
Maybe.
So you have a 2.
I'll be there for 7 hours though.
2v2, 1, 2v2, 1, and then 1v1, 1. So it's like a 5v5. That'd be funny though. Can you imagine like one person's feeding?
I've told myself I'm not going to get into more card games.
Too carried away.
But like I've played League of Legends so much. I feel like there's part of me that's like, I'll give it a go just to, because I've done this in the past and it's recognizable for me.
Comes down to the card game itself.
How it
So
plays.
because the card game is an American card game, is that can I say that correctly?
I think it's made in America.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Well,
is
it's
it
made by Riot
the
Games.
owner of the card game?
Probably.
So unlike Japanese card games, right? Japanese card games, when you open a box, it's a set amount of cards you will get. Like a certain amount of rarity, you get this amount. This amount of rarity, you get this amount. You will definitely get this X amount.
For example, One Piece, right?
Correct. One Piece, Gundam, Dragon Ball, all the same.
Is that some sort of like regulatory rule or just
No,
a
no,
pattern they
just
follow?
how Japanese card games
They're
do
expected
their like their card games. Unlike Magic, Magic is like you don't know what you're getting.
It's
Well,
straight
it's still roughly seeded, no? It's
Nope.
still seeded.
Nope.
No.
It's really hard. Like you can get X amount of mythics, but it's just you can get shit.
Yeah, I
mythics.
guess when people talk about like, you know, there's one per box or something, that's more of like a averaged guess, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I
so
guess.
so for let's say One Piece, if I open up a full case, you definitely get like 6 to 7 of each characters. But you don't get if you open a case of Magic, you don't get
Do you think
a set
that
amount of
affects
shelter.
Do you think that affects the end player user though? Because the average person is still going out and buying boxes, buying packs regardless.
In a roundabout way, I'm sure it does, because like as a big company that then like Eternal Magic that's buying product to then sell product, it can then invariably make sure
I
that
see.
certain players are getting the product down the line.
It's about getting the ROI for
Yeah.
the investors.
It's
Yeah.
probably
Correct.
it's like the
So-
longevity. If you're just cracking packs one at a time in the store, then no. But if you're trying to look at the longevity of the game from this year to next year, then absolutely.
So like, for Magic, it's pretty much very hard to get what you want from a pack.
Yeah.
I think about this, like they've always had a problem with Magic, like keeping standard popular, because the big problem with standard is that it fluctuates so much. Like think about not this round of standard, but last year's round of standard, where you had all the shoulders, just like you're talking about. They blew the price out so much when they're trying to drive people back to standard, but everyone wants to play these exact same card, like every deck is playing the same color. Then it completely pushes out a major population of people that can't afford to spend that money or don't want to spend that money. Whereas, like, I guess if there's properly seeded cards coming through One Piece, prices will always stay at a relative price, if just to even just get into the game.
But it's still rare. It's still randomized within its rarity, right? You're guaranteed to pull, say, like 2 mythics or 3 mythics, but it's still random within the mythics you get.
Yeah, but you're saying that even if you don't get the coolest version, you're definitely going to get X
Correct.
amount of the
You're gonna
same
get a
character.
base rarity
See what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
you know, like even a base shoulder, it's worth $70-$80.
Correct.
So if you could open 3 cases and not get a single one. It just means that price invariably makes that impossible to get into. You know,
There's a few major factors. Naturally, that one as well, like how players going to feel about cracking the boxes and getting the cards,
Yeah.
but also the gameplay itself. I feel like I won't know how the game is going to play until I see it in person or give it a go myself, because it's such a different spin.
End of the
on
year,
card
right?
games.
Or June, July? No, that's the Gundam. Sorry.
Like September-ish.
yeah.
like after
Gundam's
August.
coming soon, very soon, next month. I
Gundam
think.
is next month, July.
Yeah.
Another thing as well, they've just started spoiler season, so they've just started like showing off cards on the website now as well. A lot of the art is from the video game as well, but I do like some of the stuff they're doing with the cards. If you don't mind that like very digital art style, obviously my heart still goes out to I love hand drawn art. That's why I play Magic. A lot of the League of Legends art is still very digitally drawn, but they're doing some really cool stuff with the art. They're doing different.
do you think
rarities
it's
for art.
assets they've used just previously?
They've reused art from Rune Tower, which was their digital card game.
Usually,
and they've reused
I
art from the
would
game.
say same thing with what happened with One Piece as well. So the first set, the
Correct.
art was so trash
Yeah.
because you just take anime.
They've already announced that they're going to
screenshots.
start rolling back on reused assets, and they're going to have brand new art as the game goes
Yeah.
on, which makes sense.
Yeah, I guess if you're-
Risky though.
when you're trying to like, if you're going to build a house, but you've already got all the bricks, but they're a bit
Might as
shit,
well.
but you may as well use them, right?
might as
And
well.
then if it goes well, you're like, oh well, then we do the extension. We'll buy new stuff.
And
right?
they already announced how they do some of the rarities as well. Like the upper end, like the echelon, like the top end of cards, you have this fancy special alternate art, 0 bordered cards, like no bordered extended art cards. And then there's also the special chasers, which are the signed cards.
Oh yeah, and one more thing, they did announce that what they're gonna do with tournaments as well for Riftbound is if you use an off meta deck and win, you will get off meta pricing, like especially made for your deck.
Oh, like a loot box, like a
No,
cash loot box.
not loot box. Like if you win like with let's say Danny, you like to do like the meme decks, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
think about it, like I think of like I assume it's just going to be the same for League of Legends. But when you played like Arena in World of Warcraft, right, and you'd fight, when you'd win, you'd open a cache, and the cache should be dedicated to your
No. Yeah, correct.
set.
But
So does it do the same thing in League?
not different. Like okay, let's say you have the top 5 decks.
Yeah.
All right, these top 5 decks are dominating the meta right now. But you decided to use the number 6 one, which no one uses, and you actually win.
Yeah,
They're trying to incentivize people to play,
And you will
off-meta
get
decks.
like a set of specially made cards for that character.
Are we saying the same thing?
No, yeah, you guys are going on different tangents here.
Yeah. So yours is yes, you get like let's say if you're a hunter,
You're talking
you
about-
get hunter parts,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But this one is they only reward those who are not using the meta.
You guys are on similar ideas. You're talking about customized pricing for
Yeah.
winning.
Yes, correct.
William's talking about the game is trying to incentivize people to not to play the meta.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So if you use like let's say in Arena World of Warcraft, which is the least used character, do you know? Like
Probably. No, I don't know. I don't know. Now I don't know. Now.
okay,
I don't know.
whatever then.
Yeah, probably Warlocks or something. I'd say.
Yeah. So if Warlock's not winning,
Yeah.
But if you use a Warlock and win like the tournament,
Yeah.
then you
you get what?
not just an award for your character, like
Yeah.
specially designed parts.
It's
for
Yeah,
you.
that's a big deal for any card
Yeah.
game because exclusive pricing
Correct.
is usually
I guess
fetching a lot.
Fab's way is by banning. If one character wins too many times, it gets banned out of it. Whereas it's going the other way, where it rewards from bottom up.
I like what Fab is doing, but it's also very damaging to the card game.
Yeah.
It's yes and no together.
I think we might see some changes to how they do Living Legends because characters are getting Living Legend points too
very
fast.
quickly. Like, can you imagine spending $1,000 and then your deck just get banned 2 months into the game, right?
We were talking about it because there's supposedly some restock of one of the sets coming through, but one of the sets coming through, the characters are being banned. So who's going to want to open?
Yeah,
those
that's the
packs?
thing.
Yeah.
So
the only way they want to, how they sell boxes now is to put the special, what's it called? What pack is it? The gold pack?
Gold packs inside the box.
Yeah,
Try and
that's how
incentivize people to buy
that's how they
boxes.
sell boxes now.
Yeah.
Because
It's
they
no different
know
than box
people is gonna
office.
buy it because it's gonna get banned, and then now that's gonna put that gold pack thing, so people will come buy it. But
Yeah.
like I say again, this is not the way to do it. Like I feel like, to me, I always feel Fab is a really great game, but if only the expensive parts can be used like multiple, like it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
too
your
specific.
hero needs to have more. What's it called?
Diversity?
No, not diversity.
Shared.
Like wizard, right?
Yes.
So you have a wizard item. So you need to have more class. Yes, more
I
class.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
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 So,
So
if
the
there's more
equipment can
class,
be used across more
correct.
guys. Yeah,
so
yeah,
you can reuse it,
Yeah.
not just like it's banned, die. Yeah, this is like,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make it.
If
Yeah,
Fuck,
because I
it-
guess your
it definitely
character gets
hurts the
banned,
market.
and then half the equipment you've bought gets
correct.
also banned.
Can you also use in another
Yeah, I see.
hero?
Especially when the equipment is a big part of the
Correct.
cost of the game in Fab.
I don't mind the hero getting banned, but if you ban the hero and its equipment, then it's an issue.
Yeah, because they're not banning the equipment, but you effectively are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess if you
There's
spend-
no way to use it
spend
anymore
$1,000 on
because
all
it's
those
locked.
bits,
It's,
clears out.
it's class lock. It's like it's pretty much you're playing World of Warcraft, but your items just stay in your inventory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touching back real quick. So League of Legends Riftbound. We keep going.
We're back-
tangents
we're
here.
back in
We're going-
Riftbound.
They're doing the upper echelon of collectibles are signed cards. They're signed by the artist,
which I love.
which I already collect signed
That's like
Magic
for
cards
Flesh and
from
Blood.
the artist. Like I already like signed cards. I already do that for Magic the Gathering.
that's the thing,
Collecting
right?
signed cards for Riftbound also sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sign cards in Magic is very, very subjective
Correct.
because there's no proof that it came from the artist.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, unless you have a photo of it or it's like
like-
authenticating.
Yeah,
right?
signed forgeries do exist.
Yeah, when you get like a signed thing for like soccer or whatever, obviously it comes with like an authentication letter on the back, which also could technically be forged, but like there's steps in place.
Correct.
Whereas I guess unless you're standing there with this artist, which people can do, but as soon as it's gone past you, how does anyone know that that's actually the
Correct.
person?
Right. So that's the issue. Like, but Flesh and Blood and all are very smart because all these cards come from the pack, so it's guaranteed.
Yeah,
It's
They're
legitimate,
printed on
right?
the card
You're
itself.
talking about Riftbound, not.
I mean everything. Like
Flesh and
even
Blood also
Flesh and
did
Blood
some
has
signed cards.
signed cards. as
Oh,
well.
cool.
Yes.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
The reason like the gold packs what I'm talking about, right? So it's signed by James White.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
bloody cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So
And then-
those are like 20, 30 grand each, I think.
It's a good way to inject a bit of extra collectability in the game without affecting the end user if they want to play with the regular version of the cards,
Correct.
which is nice. So yeah, I'll stick around. I'll see how it goes. I'll get some details for the release date as well. I know I want to be probably pushing it a lot more in northern boards. It's slowly creeping up in interest. I hear more and more buzz about it, so hopefully I can get some momentum going.
So if you're playing in lanes, does it have a specific map that you have to play with as well? Just
Nah, it's just
identify the
represented by
lanes?
3
Yeah,
spots.
3 spots.
And
Like,
then
you know,
have-
like your character spot, your trap, your graveyard, your deck,
Got it.
your
it's like
lands.
sorcery where you have the sideways cards.
Yeah,
and you just
yeah.
place 3 of them out.
Roger.
So, and really, I say lanes, but you're just 3 spots you battle on. So, and it's abstracted. It's taking the video game.
Also
and
another
abstracting it
avenue
down
to sell playmats. Doo-doo.
Exactly. Yeah, taking the video game. And
Terms and conditions
abstracting it down to yeah. We'll see how we go.
Come on, you got to have a backpack every time you come in to play games. 'cause you
And William is a filthy Teemo player, so
But Teemo is like apparently the tier D.
good.
So he's gonna get the best loot.
Good.
No, it's just shit.
New game. I say Teemo. What do you think this character is?
There's just no description or anything to it.
All right, Teemo. Your description is that he looks like a badger.
It's a rat, right?
My
Like
guess is that he's a badger.
it's like a raccoon or something.
Yeah. He's like a.
Is it like a rip off of like Rocket Raccoon or something?
Nah, they have a
Nah.
species of characters called yordles, which are like little furry creatures.
I like how I was supposed to guess, cuz, and it's a made up, it's a whole
yeah.
a completely original
Well,
concept.
the thing with Teemo is his ability is going stealth and then shooting dots at you.
Yeah, his whole gameplay is he ambushes you,
Yeah,
which is
and-
like
and his ultimate is planting bombs.
So it's kind of like
he's like a saboteur character. He
yeah,
like puts
yeah.
bombs in, like he
plants
recon and sabotages.
in the original form. He plants mushrooms.
in my mind, I'm thinking of like a chameleon that like turns off
Like a skink.
Yeah, like a skink kind of thing.
Actually, in the card game, the way Teemo plays is that he has that hidden ability again, where he can play him face down. So the Riftbounds bring a bunch of like you can bring trap cards and
Yeah.
face down cards.
I like, but you're putting it face down, and you're like, "What is that?" And you're like, "It's nothing." It's like,
It's a bomb. So what?
just ignore that this is here.
So what Teemo does in the game is the Teemo will plant like bombs in like exit areas and entrance areas. So when you're trying to run from a fight,
you get bottlenecked
you just
in.
get bombed,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you slow down, and then you just die.
Yeah,
Slowly.
he's super annoying to play against. I don't.
If you
like-
just get bombed, what they do is they chain the bomb like every like an inch, actual inch. You put a bomb. So whenever they run, it's hit.
Yeah.
They got a lot to draw upon because we're talking over 10 years worth of like lore and
Yeah.
characters they've built up, and the game itself has hundreds of characters.
Obviously, you mentioned the Netflix show. That was fairly popular, right?
Yes,
Very
very,
did well.
nice.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people who've never played League of Legends still watch the show and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a very good like what they did with it, like how they do the lanes in the show.
What was it called again? Arcane.
Arcane.
Yeah.
How
And
they
it-
did the lanes in the show is very good as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
Have you watched it?
they
No, I haven't
represented
seen it.
I should watch it.
they represented like a bridge, like to separate the upper class and the lower class.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the bridge is like a lane.
Yeah. That was set in the location of Piltover and Zorn, right?
Correct.
is it like all in a single like city or planet?
Set in
or-
the same continent.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a whole game.
Right, so it's like
It's
the
like a
slums.
warring nation continent.
Got it.
So slums versus like city,
Yeah.
CBD kind of stuff.
The city is like a neutral area. It's like,
Correct.
but because there's the two major warring nations is Noxious and Demacia, right?
Correct.
That's kind of like your alliance and horde situation going on, and there's a bunch of neutral places as well. So
more and more like then they have like underground. So that's the second lane, and then
Zorn
like,
is the undercroft, like the slums where it's all the poor and the the repressed living.
my people.
And then exactly, and then Piltover is literally a city that built above it. That it's like the upper class.
So it
living.
feels very like Warhammer like Hive thing, where it's like
Very.
you push them
Yeah.
further down, right?
Yeah, and then it gets a little abstract because there's also Bilgewater, which is just an entire place of pirates. It's all piratey.
Bilgewater is the most parody sounding place you could
Bilgewater's
possibly think
very
of.
parody.
Isn't there a Bilgewater in fucking
Yeah.
Warhammer, a Watercraft as well?
There's the Haunted Isles, which is
well, there is right.
there's the Haunted Isles, which is surprise, haunted. It's like all the
Ghost pirates?
Yes, it's all the spirits and death.
I like that there's two nations and every other nation is just pirates like, related.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, we'll see how we go.
Interesting.
The push for like the video games into regular culture. It's funny because it keeps touching on us like we talked about recently about how EB Games has started to push into like selling Magic singles.
Did you hear about the CEO? He just came out where he said the future So GameSpot CEO came out, and the future of GameSpot is not in video games. He said,
Yeah, I said that
Trading cards.
yeah. He said the future is like he's like, we're already successfully marketing like merchandise and like collectible goods, and they've just
Also,
recently
it's like Zing kind of stuff.
So almost a decade ago, they started on this huge like regimental shift of what their business plan is. So because in America, GameStop was suffering really bad.
Yeah.
And then it went through that whole, I don't know, you probably know about that whole
stocks
internet thing.
thing,
Yeah, the stocks thing, right?
coin, yeah,
I didn't
the
never
investment thing.
pay attention to that. But it's represented best in Australia, where EB Games has fundamentally done exceptionally better than anywhere else in the world where GameStop is thing. Because Australians, we do everything 10 years behind.
We're old-fashioned. People still like to buy discs.
go in and buy
'cause our
stuff,
internet's
you know?
not good enough to just download games. And we don't have the Amazon distribution. So people just still go to their local EB Games and buy discs.
And like in America, a lot of the really big shopping centers, like we have like Joondalup and whatever, those places are dying, like been dying for a decade. Whereas in Australia, they actually still do quite strong. It's still a fairly safe bet. Not all of them, because we have like the Morley the Galleria where it's dead, but you have like Karen Up or something that's doing fantastic, right? Anyway, so the shift was to change is to open Zing first up and then start selling all the collectibles. So then they're paying rent in, somewhere like Joondalup Shopping Centre, now they're paying rent for Zing and EB Games. And it's like they do that for like 3 or 4 years, and that was successful. Like people are buying collectibles and pops and all that stuff. And then then it's to merge the two brands together, so people realize that it's together. So now they're only paying rent for one shop in each one of the major shopping centres, and it like 10 per city or whatever.
Right.
And then over time, you just slowly start merging all of the Zing. So EB Games just gets slowly taken over by the Zing product. And when you go in there, that is the majority of the product they sell.
That's right.
And it's because, like, obviously, with digital assets, it's so much easier to buy a video game online than it is to, that all the.
I don't know you guys. I haven't bought a physical game in a while.
I love buying physical games. You know why? Because I can sell them back.
Yeah, well, I'll still buy the World of Warcraft
sell
expansion
digital
every
games.
year, even if I don't get a chance to play it. I'll still continue that presence of doing that.
He's a bit supporter.
It's the only one. But
So that's because it's tied to the merchandise.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like their whole goal is to completely remove like the digital asset part of the video games in EB Games, and then because EB Games and like same as GameStop, it's broad enough that if they just turn into a games world where they sell board games and card games, the name doesn't have to change at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just is what it is. So now, what I've known about this for a long time, it's because they're such a massive corporate company, they have to release their like plans and their finances every year, like any other major business with shareholders. So that thing has been in the works for a long time. It's been in the view. What I'd never guessed coming along was them turning into like a card game store, like close to Eternal, where they're trying to sell singles online. The problem is, the way that they've launched so far has been incredibly dodgy.
They're really stumbling on top of themselves, not trying to. They don't exactly know what they're doing because the people behind the counter haven't worked in game shops.
Yeah.
So haven't worked in like TCG.
They don't have the experience with it. And I my friend Connor, he bought a box of collector boosters from EB Games for this Final Fantasy stuff. And I've seen quite a few posts about it online now as well, where they've shipped all of the packs from over East into the Western Australia, and all the packs are opened and in boxes.
Yeah,
right.
Completely loose.
Loose. So when normally you get a sealed box of cards and you go in there and it has 12 packs in it. Instead of him getting a sealed box of 12 in it, he has to just go to a large like open box and collect 12 loose packs out of there. Now, whether they have done something dodgy with that or not, it opens up the question is like, well, are you weighing your packs to determine if you've taken out like the surge foils packs and stuff like that? In other games, it's very well known that people do that, like in Pokemon.
I think it's logistically infeasible for them to be weighing hundreds of packs.
When you're talking about, totally like two different opinions, but I totally disagree.
I think more logically what's happening is they're just ripping out all the collector boosters from like bundles, from individually packed products. Because Walmart, for example, they get collector boosters in individually packed boxes. Like big distribution, like shopping centers, like Walmart, get them to prevent theft.
Okay, hear me out.
They might just be cracking.
So
everything they can
my
get,
take on it is very simple. Because in a box that's 12, right? How do you know it's 12 if you don't open it?
No, because the box it's solid.
sealed,
The box
right?
won't.
Correct.
It's
Yeah,
sealed
but
and it won't
you
move.
never know because in EB Games you can return.
What do you mean though?
Like you know what
they
I'm saying?
can return the box being like, I didn't get my 12th pack in my collector booster
So
box.
if you get 12 packs, you get 12 packs. Same thing with One Piece. They actually get the box. I saw them getting the full I bought some EBO2 from them. They get the box and they open it and they
the pack
take it out.
The way in the pack thing is like you're talking about like someone has to be thousands and thousands of packs.
Yeah, but you're talking
for
about
minuscule
millions of
amounts.
dollars. So
but like minuscule amounts of like weighing difference and minor. Because the thing is about the foiling is that you could get
I
a
got
stinker
hits
foil
from,
or a good foil.
From my EV pack, so it's okay.
Yeah,
Like I don't
you
think
can,
they weigh
you can
it,
still get
but
stinker
I
packs
feel-
and good packs.
I was like in full what's the conspiracy mode at the start. But then it's also they've now launched a website where they sell singles online. And it's just too much at one time. It's too much at one time.
You know what might be-
also, let me
it also
conspiracy
might
theory
be-
this because if the EV games can fuck off.
Yeah.
Like we're all us like
It is.
places like Northern Boards and Eternal, like us small business owners don't need EV games coming in and like
when
stomping
EV
us.
games selling sealed card products, whatever, big deal. They've always done that. But the fact they're pushing into the play sphere where they're trying to run pro releases and they're running regular
Oh yeah, I
events,
saw that Midland.
that's a real big deal for us because they're everywhere. EB Games is everywhere. They got so much buying power. But the only thing is that they're in every shopping center.
Yeah.
So running pre-releases and events is awkward.
Yeah.
It's
Gotta
very
be awkward for
awkward.
them.
Well, I talked recently about someone who got forced out of a shopping center because a big name brand said like complained to the like management they don't want them there, and only like a big name brand that can have like EB Games or Games World has the presence
the pull.
to be able to push an individual person out. But that shows the level of like it makes sense from their end, absolutely try and maintain control of it. But all that leads to is like, do we need another Woolworths and Coles of EB Games game stores? Like, come on.
Speaking about the packs thing as well, they probably just emptied out all their boosters, chucked them out, and they started cracking the packs, right? Because they probably just had they just emptied all the packs, started cracking the packs, and when they hit a certain like EV of like cards were like good enough, and the remaining packs sell.
That's my problem. That's it for me. It opens too many questions. And like when we're here, we open all the boxes in front of customers at the time, so people know there's no funny business. And I just don't. Why should a massive corporate company making millions
For a place like us, we need full
have less
transparency
rules?
because the trust between us and our customers is a massive deal.
Absolutely.
But these places like EB Games, it doesn't really matter because if you're not going to be a customer, someone else will be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. The way in the packs thing is like in Magic, you can get a foil.
Yeah.
It can be a stinker. And it's not really the foil that matters. It's what card you get.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I thought maybe is different because in this set is the surge foils have foil on both sides. So then there's definitely a weight difference.
Do you reckon there's enough of a microns of difference?
Well, the videos I watch offline of people doing it, it shows that you put it over like a scale and it fluctuates, and a regular pack won't fluctuate. It's the same weight. And the other ones, if it changes at all, then you just put that one aside.
Did you hear about the place where people were using, I think it was like MRI machines
Yeah,
to scan Pokemon
William and I
packs?
were talking about that before.
But then they
because-
did the maths where running the MRI machine was more expensive than just the value you could get out of the packs.
I guess so.
people
yeah.
stopped doing it.
Well, in Pokemon, it makes sense because the foiling on there's only certain foils that use like a certain type of metallic, and they're the ones you want. And you can actually see with the MRI machine, you can actually see which card it is. It's not about just knowing that there's a card in there. You can actually see like it's this Charizard or that Pikachu, which is like that's crazy.
Yeah. So if you're a doctor with access to an MRI, let us know.
Let's collaborate.
Yeah, let's collaborate.
Collab.
I can't wait for like someone who's not trained in how to use an MRI machine is like, lands on the news because he's trying to do Pokemon packs and like he's like flowing through.
It's like X-rays. We just get like cancer.
Yeah.
We're just X-raying
Well, it's
so
like,
much.
It's like if you, I think, it's it's because it's a giant rotating magnet with electrofield. It's like if you have anything that's like not supposed to be around you, it can go through you. Have you seen the videos of like, some guy was like, he has like a metal piece of rotted from a motorbike crash or something, and then the MRI machine rips it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there's strict rules of like no metallic objects around the MRI machine.
Yeah. There's a X-ray or like a digital image of a guy who was in a wheelchair who got too close, and the guy in the wheelchair got sucked into the MRI machine, but he was going first, and the wheelchair then went through him. So
Cool.
like he went in because he's like sitting in the wheelchair, he flew into it, and then the wheelchair went directly through his body. And it's like it's not you
Sounds
can't
like a Mortal Kombat thing.
yeah. Imagine if you're a Mortal Kombat character and your whole thing was you set up an MRI machine and then like magnetized your opponent.
That's Final Destination.
Bro, have you not seen the latest like Mortal Kombat? They have like characters like Terminator, Rambo, and stuff coming in.
The Mortal Kombat stuff is interesting because they're getting so detailed with their fatalities and their gore that apparently a bunch of the Mortal Kombat devs had to like take time off because they're just looking at gore and death
Gore
so
too
much.
Yeah.
So
Dude, we're on full tangents here, but did you see the girl in America and she was at a final destination showing at the movies and the roof collapsed in on her?
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
boy,
Ain't no way of watching Final Destination anymore.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like it's just so. Imagine being in the movies and you look up and the roof's coming in. You're like, it's time.
it's like watching Titanic and then you're like your yacht sinks.
If you're on your yacht and you're watching Titanic, I think you're tempting fate
Yeah,
far
it's
too
true.
much.
It's true. So this is going to be the last episode we have William for a while. I know William, you're going on a couple trips.
Yes,
mainly-
next week I'm going to Sydney Regionals, One Piece. And then after that, I'll be going for a short break till end of July.
Nice. A little recreation break. How long are you taking off? Like a month?
But 3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks?
Nice.
3 weeks is a good amount of time. And you're going to New Zealand?
Yes, sir.
Who do we know who can do William's voice the best?
Ooh.
We should have got someone on and not said it was not William. See how long
We'll
we
get
can
Tom back on and just call him William all night.
Well, now that Kang's finished uni, we should be able to do fairly consistently from
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Should be smooth sailing from now on as well. End of July.
Guest week.
End of July is like not even. It's like what, 6 episodes? No biggie.
Yeah,
We'll get some guests on. We'll get some people on. We've got plenty of things to talk about.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe we'll get like a Final Fantasy guy to talk about what's going on in Final Fantasy Magic. So, but how you looking forward to New Zealand?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my second time there.
Yeah, so you're going in winter, obviously, so it's
Yes.
gonna be nice and snowy.
Going to South Island only.
Ooh,
Yeah.
skiing.
We discussed it earlier. It's like because my family's from New Zealand and from the South Island, so I've actually been there quite a few times. But I've only ever been in summer, and I've never seen snow, even though I've been there probably 6 or 7
Have you ever
times.
wanted to like ski,
Yeah,
snowboard?
Yeah, of course.
Looks hella fun, right?
Every time I'm like, why are we going in?
I did ski once in Mount Hotham
How was
in
it?
Melbourne. It's quite fun.
Yeah. You a
It's,
skier or a snowboarder?
I think snowboarding is harder than skiing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're going sideways.
Well, yeah, you're like a tripod essentially with the
And
skis
your
on, so-
legs are locked. Ski, at least your leg, you're free
Yeah,
to
yeah.
move both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel like it looks so much fun because the risk of falling and hurting yourself doesn't hurt as bad. It looks
No,
hitting
it's
on snow.
hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's not.
Snow is compressed, bro.
Yeah,
It's like compressed sand.
it's the,
Sick.
yeah, the snow that you could like that's fluffy, you can't ski on that.
Yeah.
So that
Because it's just gonna.
yeah, it's the imagine like you're going down a sand dune, except the sand dune can't move in it at all. So when you land on it, it's actually quite heavy. Like the pants and stuff you wear are like quite padded up.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have not done it, but quite a few friends have like injured themselves quite heavily.
And you get sunburned too.
yeah.
Man.
Because the sun reflects onto the snow
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then
and
comes
reflects
back to you.
up.
Well, that's the same thing. So I've never been in snow, but we have done like the Fox Glacier like climb and stuff like that before in New Zealand. And you get crazy windburn and you get like more sunburn from the ice than you do from the sun.
Yeah.
But if you go in summer, it's actually hotter because the UV ray like distance over New Zealand is different to like here in Australia. So it's not. It's like it's weird. Like you get sunburnt more because of the UV rating, but it's not as hot. But over there, it'll be like, I don't know, it'll be 40 degrees here and it's super hot. But over there, it's 30 degrees and it feels just as hot as if it was 40 degrees here. And you're getting melted, cuz.
It's crazy.
But it's an incredible place to travel.
Anything else you're looking forward to?
You going to Hobbiton? Have you done it before?
That's South Island. That's North.
Is it?
Yeah.
New Zealand's
I'm
not that
South
big. You can
Island.
get
So
there.
South Island is, when the scene where they do the, that river scene?
Yeah.
With the two big statues with the no entry.
Pass of Kings.
Yeah, that's South Island because I've been there before. I did the whole Lord of the Rings tour.
Listen,
in South
I've
Island.
also done all these, but I don't know where anything is.
So that part is that when the part where the mercenaries came with the elephants, right?
Yeah.
The Mumaks, right?
Yeah.
So and where Frodo and Sam were onto when they're lying down on the belly.
Yep.
That scene also in South Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
And there's a patch. I went to that patch where you can lay down and look at the mercenaries.
do they get some people to walk by? So you
No,
feel like,
it's pretty much just crowds on the other side, and then they put out a photo like, look at this patch here. It's exactly. I'm like,
This is like tops and grass.
Wow, I did not spend this money.
Are you going right down to the bottom to like all the sounds and stuff?
Yes, I'm gonna Milford Sound and all the sound, whatever sound.
Yeah,
thing.
So as someone that hasn't been to New Zealand and doesn't know too much about it, outside of say Lord of the Rings and skiing, what are the big tourist attractions? What are the big you go to New Zealand for?
South Island.
Yeah,
South Island cuisine? Is there good food?
What
That's okay.
What
okay.
a lot of people relate it to is like going to Canada but it's all compressed into a really short area. So you can drive for 2 hours and you're at the top of a peak of a mountain, and then you can drive for 2 hours and you're on these massive green fields, and then you can go drive for an hour and it's snow.
I can tell you one thing about New Zealand. Any photo you take, it's a postcard.
Yeah. It's a beautiful country, and the being what it is, like the air is significantly cleaner. The population's way lower. Obviously, the
I was just saying, if you do you have hay fever?
No.
Okay, then you're fine. Okay. If you have hay fever, I do not suggest you to go to New Zealand.
Everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it's pollen shit.
Oh, I've never. I have hay fever? So I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
Hay fever, like New Zealand is like full on pollen, bro.
Ooh. But like New Zealand,
Poland?
Yeah.
Poland.
New Zealand has a big push to like try and preserve the natural beauty, right?
Yeah.
Which is obviously a bit of a conflict between that and the mining as well.
They call it New Zealand is heaven, Australia is hell, because you have all the most dangerous creatures in Australia, and you have zero things that can kill you, like animals and insects in New Zealand.
That's why like the certain animals, like their native animals, struggle so much because there's no combat in them whatsoever. So anything like cats or dogs that get released, like there's that story of the guy who released goats in the I think it's like 1900s, early 1900s, right? Because he wanted to hunt goats, like shoot goats, some British guy, and he introduced them. And there's nothing to fight the goats, and the area there's no wolves or dogs or nothing. And then the area is so mountainous that the goats did really well. So now there's like millions of goats, and they have to go in helicopters and shoot them from helicopters.
Yeah, there's there any predators?
Natural predators?
That's what I'm saying. You can just walk into the forest and it's fine.
And all the animals have been there
barefooted. No problem. No scorpions and shit.
Yeah. And they're
I guess that's why the kiwi bird looks like that.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. So all the animals that have been there for thousands of years have adapted to not really need to defend themselves.
Nope.
So they're like pathetic animals.
The spiders are fine.
Birds of prey? Any birds of prey?
Nope.
No, nothing.
You can pet the spiders too. Yeah. The spiders are not venomous.
Yeah. we used to do the same thing because the last time I went there, Lucas was quite young, and we would just go wander off into the bush or the forest for ages.
That sounds lovely.
It's like
old timey fantasy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Except for one time we kind of went exploring in a mine shaft, and that was no good idea.
Ooh, yeah.
So with New Zealand,
how do you guys feel about like rock, like people that go into mine, like cave divers? How do you guys feel about cave divers?
Yeah, all those photos of the guys like who get stuck facing downwards.
Yeah, good, bro.
So the only thing that can kill you is earthquakes.
I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances.
Earthquakes is there's a lot of earthquakes.
The danger of earthquakes is like buildings. You just got to get out.
Yeah,
got to get out, get an open field. You're fine, right?
I told you about my granddad who had dementia in New Zealand, right? So he lived in Christchurch, which is like the major city of the South Island, and he lived in a fairly like suburban area, but even their suburban area is like semi-rural because it's quite forestry. Anyway, he had a greenhouse on the back of his connected to the back of his house, and then it went into a yard. When the earthquakes came through, quite a big fissure opened up in his backyard. So and because he had dementia, my family went there and like they locked off the back door so he couldn't get into his yard. Anyway, one day they'd come around to visit him, and he'd got out through the backyard, and he'd got into the yard, like back through the door that was supposed to be locked, and into the yard, and he was just standing in the fissure, and it's maybe like chest height, but he didn't really know how to get out, and he's like pretty dementia, so he kind of just stood there and waited, and when they got there, he was just standing in like a crevice essentially in his own yard, and he was fine, but he was just kind of like arms together, just kind of waiting for something to come help him.
How long was he waiting for?
Like a couple of hours. He had because he had a nurse that would have to check on him, and like I think the family would check on him every like 3 or 4 hours. Then a nurse would come every other 3 or 4 hours. So
damn.
But it was like it's crazy. The last big earthquake that went through Christchurch did so much damage.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We went back, I think 6 years later, and there was still real building and condemning buildings from the first time.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's the massive parts of that city are like you.
A lot of animation comes from New Zealand.
Yeah?
Yeah, and a lot of like good animation comes from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like
all the Weta workshops.
What's it called? That studio.
Weta.
Yeah.
But why do you think New Zealand? Just the culture, or the people there just happen to have
I don't know. It's just India. Probably they
have like an education focus, maybe.
A big part is the wages aren't great over there, and you've got a lot of like the same thing when I talk about like for tourism, where you can go to, it's like being in Canada where you can travel to these different places. You've got a lot of shot locations in very short periods of drive, so you can jump in a helicopter and be at a whole different.
Doing a lot of screening and
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so that's why in a lot of big movies like Spartacus and Lord of the Rings, all those things, they're filmed there because you can get so much done in such a short period of time. And they hire a lot of actors from Australia and New Zealand because of that. And that's why a lot of those big shows like that end up being there.
You know what I'm looking forward to now that I finished this semester and I got a bit of time as well? Just being able to like watch things again.
Yeah.
Like start up TV shows, go to movies
Talk about
again.
that June TV show that's on.
Yeah.
It looks really
Oh,
good.
There's a bunch
Dune
of stuff
TV
that
show?
they get
Yeah,
out.
it's actually fucking
Boy,
good, man.
they're pumping out the franchise. There's a Dune
Damn.
MMO just came out
What's
as well.
it regarding though?
It's,
I have no clue.
it's the June show is prior to the movies. So it's prior to the main books.
So it's a bit more of like a house drama, political drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this like pre-Spice or after Spice?
Spice has always
They
been
know
around.
about this. The main story is happening. They know the spice exists, and then they do flashbacks then before the spice.
So it's like
super early.
yeah, super.
This
early.
is
so
super
it's
early.
AI or no AI yet?
It's post AI.
Okay.
Because but it's not terribly far after that.
Okay.
So they've rebuilt, but there's like
Wow.
because part of the thing is like some of the houses get found with technology.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
correct.
like they're not impressed by it. You know what I mean?
So this is really, really prior to the
Yeah,
end of
it's
the books.
using like the compendiums of like when they're talking about in the books. It's as you go past the first or second book, they talk more and more about the families from before.
Correct.
And it's using that information to create a story of like
Yeah.
giving it, fleshing it out.
It's not even anywhere close to the Dune book line.
Yeah.
Because the Dune book line is thousands of years after Spice is already integrated into the world.
Yeah, part of it's like them discovering
Wait,
Arrakis.
the question is Dune over like in the books?
There's a finale of this main storyline, but the universe is whatever.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
there
like the
is.
main storyline. Is it
Yeah,
over?
there is a finale.
Okay.
Frank Herbert's son, I can't remember his name. He wrote a finale.
Okay.
Which people aren't super keen on. So,
Yeah, you're always gonna get that though. Like it's you know,
regional.
yeah. When you're talking about a thing that's lasted 30 years, people are gonna be you're gonna have a massive swath of people that aren't impressed, no matter what franchise it is, right?
yeah. So I'm taking recommendations for good shows to watch. The Dune show, probably on my radar as well. Movies. You guys watch any movies lately?
Watch Solo
I'm
Leveling.
keen to get back out. What is Solo Leveling?
Oh my god,
Everyone's-
Solo Leveling so good.
I know it's an anime.
I watched it finish in 2 days.
It is the current flavor.
So
It's the
a TV
flavor
show,
of
is
the
it?
month anime.
It's an anime.
So what?
So what? Okay, so long story short is human beings. Let's say us, and then suddenly what happens is there's an awakening, right?
Yeah.
Where portals started to open in like
So it's
everywhere in the world, and people starting to get like abilities to fight these portals, and there is a category of these abilities that you can be rank D. C,
It's like X-Men, where, like, you have
B, A.
mutants.
So S is the highest level of ability.
That's
you can
like the
get.
Magneto.
And the thing is, you don't know what ability you have until you go for a test or something.
Oh,
like
real
that.
quickly, what ability do you think you'd get?
Or you may not have any ability, so you can be a normal human being.
Yeah, that would suck.
So the,
Being a regular
what I want is I want my head to be the shape of a hammer, and they'd call me Hammerhead, but it's just like it's a regular.
no,
hammer.
wait. This abilities as in like powers.
You're like
and
super
stuff.
good at putting
That
drywall
would be a
up.
power.
Yeah, but only S rank abilities. Yeah,
Do you want to be giving yourself concussions when you're like,
No, because I'd be having a hard head.
What
I'd
you
be
read
fine.
for-
What you
Yeah.
want is a what you said is an S rank ability because to
Yeah.
change forms,
good, right?
it's only S rank.
what is like an S rank ability? Give me an example.
Like super strength, speed, and then you turn into like a
Yeah,
animal.
Those are good
Basic-
abilities.
That's basic as fuck, man.
Yeah. But wait, hold on. So solo leveling is this
I want
guy?
the ability to like make people pee themselves.
So this guy, right?
Like, I could be such a
Oh,
nuisance to
I
people.
don't want to hear your ability, bro. So
Can you imagine? Like the whole military is coming at me, trying to take me down, and everyone suddenly has to piss themselves. I'll be
like,
unstoppable.
You'd be like that guy. And
I think
Like Rick and Morty?
Danny will appreciate this because these portals that open, right? So you enter it before it breaks.
I want the ability to make people see things upside down.
just give them vertigo.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go in to this portal as a raid.
Yeah.
So you
my
go in like
God.
a party of
Yeah.
5
What
or
are they
6. You have a
fighting? What are they
healer.
fighting?
You have everything. Just pretty much like going in a dungeon.
This does sound like a lot of stolen ideas from other things.
Yes. But the thing is, if you don't clear this dungeon in time, the portal will break. What it means by breaking is the stuff from inside can come out now.
Okay.
So now
this is Oblivion, the storyline.
Oh yeah, they go into the Oblivion gates to kill
Yes.
him.
Yeah.
To close him.
Ta-da! But this story revolves on one person, which is this guy called Sung
So this is
Jin-woo.
IP infringement.
Hold on. So this guy, what happened is he died.
Yeah.
But he got revived, and he got this ability that can level up. So everybody else, if you got level D rank,
Yeah.
you stay level D forever.
Yeah.
But this guy started from level D, but he went up.
What was his D ability?
His ability,
Yeah.
is to level up.
Oh,
So but that's not a D ability. That's the best ability.
No. His
Yeah.
ability is level up, and he can gain new
Yeah,
skills.
but what, if he started at D, what was his D ability? What was his first?
oh,
one?
he
was just regular Joe, but
just
level
regular
up.
Joe.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
He could tie his shoelaces, but a little bit quicker.
The
He discovered
requirement to
and
go into
decided
the
to go to the
portals,
gym.
right? The requirement to go into the portals is you have to have a rank.
Okay.
Oh.
So he went in and killed like low level monsters, like level 1 shit, right?
Yeah.
So like small creatures, and then
you had to collect
built-
7 ears.
Correct. So after that he just keep leveling up. So as he level up, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So he became an ass, and then he just keeps getting stronger.
What was his S level ability?
Oh,
This is a spoiler, I guess. So if you're watching the show, don't
pretty
listen.
much. I think everyone should watch it already. If you're not, then too late. Too
Is it
bad.
short, like one
And
season?
the way he levels up is by standing and going. Whoa!
So he had a passive. So
He has when he level ups, he does a thing called super, maybe Saiyan.
so when he got his level up ability, he also got the ability to necromance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, necromancy.
Well, that is
So
a
that
strong
was
ability.
his.
Yeah.
that was his.
That's how he does it. He kills people, and then the next opponent he brings their mother back to life to make them really sad.
Ooh.
Like, oh, my mom.
That's a nasty ability.
Yeah.
So as he levels up, his necromancy ability levels up as well, and when he kills a boss.
But that's traditionally like an evil ability, right? So
Correct. So
Is he like a grey character?
he's good. He's good.
Okay.
He's good. It's just
But
very powerful.
he just fucks with.
So yeah.
dead
So
people.
he's talking about how because the book's is already like maybe season 3 or 4, whatever, but we just got season 1 and 2 for the
Oh, so
anime,
2
yeah.
seasons.
Yeah.
Digestible.
Yeah. Very fast.
What are you watching it on Crunchyroll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just put it.
Should I check it out?
Yeah, just do the free,
oh,
the free trial, and you can finish it in the free trial.
I'm excited that you're excited, but it sounds like just a bunch of other stuff I've watched.
Nah,
put
it's okay
together.
because usually these seasonal animes, you just watch it because it's hype and fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
okay
fun.
to watch.
It's really
you just go
fun.
on and be like,
And-
it's a fun battle time.
And the thing
probably.
is, it doesn't drag. It does not drag.
They get to the point.
Yeah,
What
it
do you
gets
want
to the
your
point.
power to be, William?
Sorry?
What do you want your power to be?
What my power to be?
Would you rather have invisibility or flying?
Ooh, flying.
Would you rather have invisibility or flying?
Yeah, probably flying.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
It's just convenient, right?
Yeah.
I just want to go like to somewhere like Hong Kong to eat breakfast. Zoo!
What I
I'm not
do
saying you have speed. I'm just saying you just can fly. You just
between-
get
Like,
around.
how fast though?
How fast can you run?
in between every delivery, I
Does it-
fly up into the air and see where the
Wait,
traffic
hold
is
on,
the
hold
worst.
on.
and I
Does
drive
it
right.
drain my stamina when I fly?
Yeah, you're flapping your wings, bro. It's a part of you.
Ah, that sucks though. I don't want to fly.
That's the
like
part
that.
of. Oh no,
napping.
I guess okay, maybe flying like Superman flying, but like you don't have super speed. You have like you can fly.
What's Superman flying at super speed? What are you talking about?
Well, that's like, but you know, birds, they fly because all their bones are hollow and they're super light, so it's
Yeah.
easy for them. But we're like almost like a fat guy, so like I'd be flying, but I'd be just knackered instantly.
No, you can probably like fly here to the end of the parking lot. That's it.
All right, that's
That's
the lame.
lame.
So it's flying, but it's like Superman flying. Sure.
Yeah.
Like, what? Super
It's more like
speed?
Buzz Lightyear.
Nah, let's say like you go at like 30 kilometers. That's pretty fast.
No,
That's a bike.
It's,
Yo, I am mildly fast, man.
it's consuming the same amount of energy. You should just go to the parking lot.
Do you want flying and invisibility?
Invisibility then.
Nah.
I don't know, fly and go to the parking
Not
lot,
super
right?
strength or super speed.
Definitely super strength.
You carry so much lumber.
So much. I'd be carrying so much wood flooring. I'd be amazing at my job.
Speed. Now I can go.
Speed, you do it really fast.
No. Yeah, it's true.
But imagine if you're super speed, imagine your shoes would be worn out all the time.
Super
I don't have that kind of money.
Super strength is more impressive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't want people to see me though.
Is it? Or,
You don't want people to see you.
oh, but with super speed, you can go into like the Olympics and become like Usain Bolt.
Imagine if everyone did get superpowers, but that's all really. You know how there's that juiced Olympics that's coming
Yeah,
in America?
yeah.
Have
When's
you
it coming?
Have you seen it?
Have you seen the picture of the swimmer?
Yeah, the Australian
William,
swimmer.
have you seen him?
Brother,
No.
he's jacked. It's crazy.
There's a before and
He's
after.
got lats that are coming out of his lats.
He's got there's a before and after.
Looks like
of like a
motherfucker has
swimmer.
tumors.
Was he an Olympian swimmer?
Yeah, Australian
Olympian swimmer
swimmer,
is
yeah.
going to the jacked games. It's a before and
What is
after.
it called? What's it called?
It's called the jacked games.
So they're just basically doing an Olympic style thing in Los Angeles where everyone's allowed to use steroids. And I think there's like swimming, running, some sort of athletics thing.
I hope they have like shot put.
No, it's no Jack games. Come on.
Dead set.
Juiced games? I don't know.
I think it's juiced, isn't it?
Juiced is
Nah, that seems too on the nose.
That's not a great. It's not a great trademark name.
It's like hyper games or something.
Yeah, it's been like performance enhanced games.
Yeah, maybe that's it. It sounds like
It just comes up with
Enhanced games.
Enhanced games. Yeah,
That's what we said.
That's exactly the same thing as
No.
juiced.
Australian businessman.
Yeah,
Aaron
Australian guy.
D'Souza.
Now find the picture of the Olympian swimmer. He's got he looks like just a pillar with two massive arms coming out.
It is, it's so funny. Like, we've all joked about this for so long.
Oh man,
guy?
yeah. It's finally happening.
People are like, how is he going to swim?
Doof, doof, doof.
He just defeats the water. That's it.
And you
Damn.
can't tell me you wouldn't watch that. Just to
When
see.
is it coming,
Just
though?
to see.
A year or two.
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah, I think they.
I don't give a fuck about Olympic swimming. It's just two dudes. It's a dude jumping in the
Oh,
water
yeah.
and getting to the end.
I
But I'll
think-
watch juiced games.
But let's be honest, a lot of Olympic sports are not that interesting to watch.
But
Like
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like the best ones are like, the slalom, like the kayaks and shit.
The best ones are
That's
the ones
fun.
where they're versing
It's not
someone.
so crazy.
Yeah. The best ones are when it's like 1v1. They're versing them. Like Olympics basketball, when they actually have the teams come down and play.
Yeah, but Olympic basketball is just shitter basketball than regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still someone versing someone. And that's why it's fun to watch.
Because like at the Olympics, you can't be like a professional or something to be in the team.
What?
yeah, you can.
No.
I think you can't.
LeBron James is in there. What are you talking
The
about?
country picks their best players.
I've never watched it.
Yeah, but
talking
you know
about
what's the
us.
funny thing? But like playing Olympics, like, and then you versus Team USA, everybody's like, "Oh, can you sign this?" Like, you already lost. The game is already lost.
Yeah, Team
yeah,
USA
yeah.
was stacked. It was
Yeah,
like
Team USA. you
LeBron
just-
James,
it's-
Kobe. It was like all the
You
headliners.
just can't you just versus your stars. Like, man,
Yeah, and then they pay like
But
Nicaragua
I
or
agree
something.
though. The was it the toboggan race? Crazy. I want to do
bobsled.
that, but I feel like I'll die. The bobsledding. You know
Hey, man, if the Jamaicans can do it, you can do it.
I can do it.
I'm proud of you.
because I'm scared of like it goes too far up the bank and it flips and you land on your head and you just go all the way down on your head.
I think you probably train for that not to happen, I guess.
Not me.
so you're tucked in.
Okay,
That's protection.
Now in the juiced games though, they just throw that bad boy down.
They never jump in. They
Yeah.
just always the whole track they just push it.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I want to check it out. This is kind of like my dream come true for sports.
What would be the best sport on steroids?
Shot put.
You reckon?
Nah.
Javelin.
Nah.
Or javelin actually is actually pretty good. And instead of the targets, it's how far they're trying to throw it. It's more like they're like floating targets held by drones in the air, and they've got to spear them out of the sky. Like it's like mixing the shooting game, like the shooting one, but with the spear game.
So the reality is the enhanced game is not just like steroids, right? It's a lot of like recovery enhancement drugs, a lot of like the state of the art stuff to help with like muscle like development, recovery, and like stamina and such.
Rowing will be cool.
Is it?
Yeah, because
I want
be
the-
impressive, but not
here's-
fun to watch.
Here's my pitch:
What about UFC then? What's
tug
up?
of enhanced games,
Yeah,
tug of war.
probably, yeah.
Enhanced
Oh,
games,
tug of war.
tug of
Oh
war.
yeah. Oh, but there's
Get two-
there's obstacles they got to dodge while on the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Can you imagine tug of war?
No, it's like
No
Squid
one's
Game.
budging, but the rope snaps.
The rope snaps.
Dude, then it's a draw and it's fine. But you have to put stakes to it. So it's like Squid Game where you got to pull the other guy into a spiked pit.
All right, picture this, right? You know how we're really close to like cloning like woolly mammoths through mice or some shit
Sure.
now? So how and then there's this whole meme about dudes fighting gorillas.
Yeah.
What if they cloned a gorilla, so it's not a real gorilla with feelings or something, I guess, and then
Yeah,
you
but-
have a guy on steroids fighting the gorillas?
I watched that.
We can't be that far
Gorilla
away
still
from
wins.
that.
Gorilla still wins
It
hard.
seems crazy, William, but we're not that far.
The gorilla wins hardcore.
You could fight a mammoth, bro. They could get like
No, tug of war the mammoth. How many dudes need to win to beat the tug of war
that's
against the
actually a
mammoth?
sick idea.
Yeah.
We could build a pyramid.
But I saw the idea of like we're going backwards. We're going back.
You're gonna build pyramids, but on steroids.
Ooh. Yeah. Enhanced games, dude.
It's who can do the most steroids but keep their
This,
testicles the largest.
this is not
Sure.
enhanced
Nah, they
games
all
anymore.
lose.
They all look.
It's like
Yeah.
animal cruelty right there.
Yeah, but it's not. They're not animals. It's a cloned animal. It's different.
Yeah, you just take out their brainstem.
Yeah. See, he's
see.
got it. It's just a gorilla. It's just like a
a
blob of
vegetable.
Wait,
jelly.
hold on. If you take out the brainstem, then they won't survive, right?
And then we put neural lincoln. We put the neurochip in.
No, and that's controlled by another guy in like a
in the
bodysuit.
VR.
Because
Yeah.
like all their
Machine.
bodily functions, like isn't it like controlled by the
All
brain?
I'm
Don't
saying,
take the fun out of my thing, man.
all I'm saying is, if I had like richest man in the world, Elon Musk money, I would attempt to resurrect the Colosseum. I want to bring back chariot races.
Chariot races would be sick.
You know, like Ben-Hur, like big chariot races. Can you imagine? Like, you,
Poking each other with sticks.
so like it's like NASCAR, right? But the point of it is to kill your opponent.
Have you seen that chariot races where they just have a motorbike instead of a horse?
What?
Yeah. So
It's a
they
thing.
put a motorbike on the front, and then you have like a chariot thing on the back, and then you guide the the motorbike.
That sounds
horse.
incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, it's crazy dangerous. Yeah, but you can YouTube
Keen.
it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We need to go back to the original question though. What enhanced game sport am I watching?
I don't know. You say you want shot put.
Ooh,
Nah.
like rock climbing would be fucking sick.
Oh.
Imagine those guys like juiced out of their mind, just like
I
climbing.
thought you're supposed to be light. Oh.
No, but just to be muscly as. You don't even need
Grip
to
strength. All that grip strength.
Yeah, you don't even need like lock bits. You're just punching the.
I know it now. Enhanced games, but it's horse racing. It's you just get
So the horses on steroids.
this horse is just incredibly
I think
jacked.
that's actually just already horse.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain because the steroids that
I thought they regulate that for the horses.
No, the
They don't?
steroids that people take for humans are just the steroids that are intended for horses.
Oh
that's
my
what
God.
that's what that is. All of those chemicals are supposed to be for horses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aren't the horses are like drugged up as well?
Yeah. Out of
Yeah.
fucking mind. Like they found cocaine in a lot of horses over the years. Like a
Whoa.
lot. Yeah, because they're just giving them everything they can
They
to
got
make
a
them
big
run down
nose,
it.
bro. They could go through bags of that stuff.
That's like horses run around in their real life, but when you see race horses, they're like frothing, cunt. They're all their nose and their mouth, there's foam coming out of them. They're all wild-eyed and shit. A horse can just live down the road in a paddock here and be just living its life. It doesn't look like a crazy fucking.
I should be watching horse racing
Nutcase.
apparently. Nah, it's kind of boring.
That's why, because like it's sad in reality, like because the horses often they stack it and they got to
Yeah,
shoot them.
yeah.
Horses can run quite functionally without falling over regularly. Like you know what I mean? When they're normal life, they're not just falling over and breaking all their legs.
Correct. They're not like on cocaine and trying to run as fast as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was on cocaine and running as fast as possible, I would also fall. What about you, William?
What?
What would you watch?
I don't watch much things.
You just watched Solo Leveling.
What?
Yeah, it's 2 days.
What's
That's
the-
fun. I like fun stuff, not sports.
What's the last Olympics you watched? Have you ever watched it when you were a kid?
I watched the
I
last
only
one.
watch Olympics for one sport.
Breakdancing.
No.
Breakdancing on steroids.
Badminton.
Ooh.
Boy, it's like ping pong or badminton, but the guys on steroids and
go.
they're hitting like record speed smashes on the
Yeah,
badminton.
yeah, yeah.
thing.
I would love it if the camera can't pick up what they're hitting. They're going so fast.
Or if they're getting really strong, you can afford to have the little badminton shuttlecock thing get bigger. So it's
Ooh.
so it's more violent.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Spike shuttlecocks.
Yeah.
All right.
see?
So what I've figured out is that in my like 1 month off between semesters, I'm going to watch Dune, watch Solo Leveling, and enhanced games.
What's that one where you have like the little racket thing, but it's a scooper, and then you throw it at the wall? What's that? And the ball, it's like a rubber ball, and it bounces back.
Oh, squash.
Yeah, maybe squash. Imagine squash, but instead of you hitting at a wall, you're trying to hit your opponents like it's dodgeball. But they've also got a scooper, and they're catching it and throwing it back at you.
Why isn't dodgeball
That would be-
an Olympic sport?
I think because it's like not like a real sport.
It's
Hard to like.
That's lame.
It can't be like.
You ever played dodgeball?
Yeah, as a kid.
Dodgeball's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I was one of those kids that grew very big when I was in high school, and then
now replace those balls with bowling balls. You would watch that.
It's like if you do steroids and you're playing darts, and then the dartboard is also really far away and it has like obstacles and stuff like that. I think that'd be sick.
Does steroids affect your accuracy? Negatively or
No,
positively?
you'd be able to throw it harder and further. I don't know.
Thank you for listening in this episode. We're gonna bid William farewell for a little bit of while. You're back at end of July, so we'll
Yes,
probably
correct.
see you in August then. Hope you have safe travels and
Thank
enjoy
you, thank
yourself
you.
as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in. Stay more.
Oh, we're gonna secretly open a football. What's it called? Basketball box.
What?
After this? I thought we did. Was it gonna buy the box?
We open in like 25 minutes.
I know. We can just go get it. Buy box and open it.
William really wants to open a sports cards for some reason.
Yes. Or maybe get a LeBron James and then we're rich.
We can do if you want.
Yeah, let's go. All right.
I'll go next door and see what they got.
Thank you
All right,
guys.
well, stay tuned on all the boards. We got the Gundam card game coming up, Protoss coming up as well. We
Yeah.
got box opening of Final Fantasy coming up as well. If you're tuning in as well, it's probably already been up, so check out our YouTube channel. Otherwise, stay tuned for Riftbound as well. Fingers crossed it's a good game, maybe, question mark. Hey. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.